Thank you. And hello, everybody. I am Maya Hayden. I lead our coastal adaptation program at Point Blue Conservation Science, which is based in California. And I'm going to be talking about our Planning with Nature transfer grant today. This is our team and the long version of our title, which is around basically identifying opportunities for nature-based coastal adaptation strategies. So we've got folks from Point Blue, and then our wonderful partners at the Office for Coastal Management who are helping us in developing the training. And then our primary end users are on our team, including the Amy and Dan from our coastal training programs at the San Francisco Bay NERR and the Elkhorn Slough NERR, and Wendy and Sarah from the Greater Farallones Association, which supports the National Marine Sanctuary. So the management need for our project was really around this challenge that folks on the West Coast have been having, which is that for the most part, many communities have completed vulnerability assessments, and now they're trying to figure out how to move into developing adaptation solutions. And in particular, there's a lot of interest in nature-based options, but not a lot of information on where they are specifically appropriate and what types of vulnerabilities they might resolve. So that is where our project is intended to basically kind of bridge that gap. And so we are working with a adaptation framework guidance that we had developed previously and basically translating that into a kind of hands-on training. So the target audience for our training is really around the, sort of local government, regional planners, land managers, restoration practitioners, as well as regulatory agency staff. And then also the engineering and planning consultants that tend to support developing vulnerability assessment and adaptation plans for local communities. So as I mentioned, our primary end users are really the CTP programs at both the San Francisco Bay and Elkhorn Slough NERR and the Greater Farallones National Marine Sanctuary. And in part, that's because they have this broader range of stakeholders that they are trying to support in including previous participants in some of our Living Shorelines workshops, and a variety of sort of agency representatives in various committees and councils that are going on both in the San Francisco Bay Area and the Central Coast. So our basic project approach is to take our existing adaptation framework guidance sort of manual and turn that into a hands-on training. And so the initial transfer is really to the San Francisco Bay Area, basically developing that training. And so we have, a phase of curriculum development, and then really the backbone of a lot of the training is around these case studies, so sort of locally specific examples, which we then have a friendly group at the Bolinas Lagoon, which is led by the Greater Farallones, to basically test and refine our approach. And then we'll implement a workshop focused around the San Francisco Bay Area. And then the second transfer is from the San Francisco Bay Area to the Central Coast of California. And so in that case, we're sort of transferring the curriculum via the Elkhorn Slough NERR, refining the training, updating case studies, and then we'll implement a workshop focused with stakeholders there. And then the outputs ultimately are, sort of a documenting lessons learned along the way, and then this refined adaptation training module. And the sort of longer term goal is that then that training can be used more broadly by the NERRS system and also by NOAA in its variety of sort of more national trainings that they do focused on green infrastructure and nature-based adaptation planning. We are anticipating the main products are going to be, again, the curriculum and activities, from the workshop materials, case study examples, and lessons learned document that we will have available. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Amy Good at the San Francisco Bay NERR. And right now we are in the early phases of our transfer grant. So we just are in the curriculum development stage. So definitely love to hear more from others who are also coordinating these types of activities. Thank you.